Okay, so Solgold is a London and Toronto-listed exploration company focused in Ecuador. We've made one of the most significant copper-gold discoveries in recent history, and the Alpala Maiden mineral resource estimate announced earlier this year is just the beginning. Since mid-December, when we announced the MRE, we've completed over 56,000 extra meters of drilling, and 2 rigs have also moved to our second target at Aguanaga, which is delivering promising visual mineralization, and we're awaiting assay results. But Solgold is much more than just our flagship project, Cascabel. We have 73 other concessions across the country, and we've already identified several new exciting projects. In addition to being the largest concession holder in Ecuador, we have a strong technical team led by Jason Ward, Ben Whistler, and Steve Garwin. And we have 42 exploration geologists at Cascabel and 42 exploration geologists in the regional concessions. They are predominantly Ecuadorian, and 10% of them are women. And we've also just appointed our study manager, Eduardo Venezuela, for Cascabel. Ecuador is committed to developing a long-term sustainable mining industry, and Solgold, having been there since 2012, is at the forefront of helping the Ecuadorian government do this. We have a highly experienced board and management team who are adept at creating and running this type of dynamic resource company. The team is also significantly invested, and our CEO, Nick Mather, is passionate about running the company in the best interest of its shareholders, as he is a large one. He has an outstanding record of delivering shareholder value, and Solgold will not be an exception. He has been instrumental in the creation of 9 resource companies which attained a combined market cap of $5.7 billion when they were taken over. Solgold has also received the endorsement from Newcrest via several investments at premiums to the market price. Newcrest is currently our largest shareholder with just under 15%, and they also have a board seat, which Craig Jones fills. But Newcrest is a non-blocking holder, and they must follow the board recommendation and 60% of non-Newcrest shares in a change of control transaction. This agreement alone demonstrates Nick's ability to negotiate with the majors and ensure Solgold shareholders are a priority. Finally, Solgold has no debt and $70 million in the bank to fulfill its strategy, both at Cascabel and in the regional projects. So I've already talked through Newcrest's shareholding, and we're also pleased to have the support of industry names, Pat Sheridan and Scott Caldwell, through Guyana's investment. Our other major shareholders include ASX-listed DGR Global, which Nick runs, and he also has a 5.35% personal holding. We also have support from institutional funds, including JPM and BlackRock, that we've recently brought onto the register. Part of our strategy has been to institutionalize the register to provide us with a shareholder base that is capable of writing the necessary checks to fund the development of the Cascabel project as we go forward, and this process of institutionalizing the register is ongoing. So a little on Ecuador. In the hunt for large porphyry systems, Solgold moved from the Solomon Islands to Ecuador at the beginning of 2012. The exploration team was excited by the Andean copper belt, which produces half of the world's copper, as a conducive physical environment and a geological environment that has regularly and repeatedly delivered Tier 1 copper mines. But it's not just about the geology. Ecuador is embracing the mining industry and making significant advancements to further its already attractive investment conditions. The Ministry of Mines has worked hard to initiate a sustainable and long-term mining industry, and the newly appointed Henry Troyer is continuing this work. Mining is on track to be the second pillar of Ecuador's economy during this government term, and it is a key component of Ecuador's strategy to diversify its oil-dependent economy. $4 billion in mining investment is expected by 2021. We've liked Ecuador for several years, and now the world's major mining companies are arriving. Newcrest, BHP, Anglo, Fortescue, Barrick, Hancock are all either invested in current projects or have made significant investments to secure concessions. The due diligence required to make these investments is a big endorsement of the prospectivity of Ecuador and its attractive investment climate. So focusing a little bit more about what we're up to. So as I said, Solgold has 74 concessions across Ecuador, and they're split into 5 subsidiary companies. We have an 85% interest in the Cascabel project via an 85% holding of ENSA. TSXV-listed Cornerstone holds the remaining 15% and is debt carried to the end of feasibility. Following feasibility, Cornerstone must repay 15% of the costs since Solgold's initial £2.5 million investment. If Cornerstone can't contribute to no less than 10% of development costs, they dilute to half a percent NSR, which we can buy for $3.5 million. Since implementing our pan-Ecuadorian strategy of acquiring prospective concessions across the country, Solgold has created 4 new 100% owned subsidiaries. These subsidiaries are geographically organized from Cruz del Sol in the south to Carnegie Ridge in the north. Each subsidiary has its own technical team led by experienced senior geologists, and they're already rapidly discovering many outcrops and significantly copper-gold mineralized porphyry systems, which I'll touch on a little later. We expect somewhere in these concessions covering about 15 mineralized targets to hopefully outline somewhere between 1 to 5 other world-class copper-gold porphyry projects. So Cascabel is our most advanced project, and it's located in northern Ecuador. Compared to projects being developed in the high Chilean Andes, we believe Cascabel's significant logistical advantages can deliver approximately $3 billion of capex savings. It's a 3-hour drive from Quito along a multi-lane highway and only 180 kilometers from deepwater port at Esmeraldas. So we've drill tested 8 of the 15 copper-gold targets, and the main focus has been on the Alpala cluster down at the south. And as I said, we've now just moved 2 drill rigs to Aguinaga. The drill program for 2018 comprises over 120,000 meters of drilling, and that's focused on extending and expanding the Alpala resource southwest, northwest, and southeast, as well as drilling Aguinaga and Tandayama America, which is up at the top. So as I said, this is our maiden mineral resource estimate. It only includes 53,000 meters of drilling, so there's clearly a lot more to go into this, and we're expecting a significant upgrade later this year. So 110 kilometers of drilling has been completed, and Solgold geologists are realizing high-grade extensions outside current inferred and indicated resource blocks. We're now drilling towards Trevino. And our focus really is on the high grade, because this allows us early development opportunity, which is well suited to block caving. So these high grades are where we're planning to start the operation. And as I said, that's where we're focusing at the minute. So we're planning a PEA and a pre-feasibility this year, and Solgold is investigating high-tonnage underground block caving operations, as well as high-grade, low-tonnage underground development options, which will be coming out in the PEA later this year. We can put a 6-kilometer straight decline into the bottom of the ore body and put the mine face right on the high grade. This is a conceptual development at a very high level and something that we're working on. So just very quickly on the other projects, we're applying the successful Cascabel blueprint across Ecuador. So we have 3,200 square kilometers of land over the highly prospective copper belt. And our first mover advantage, we believe we've been able to secure the best concessions. So these are the projects that you should be looking out for. We've defined a new porphyry belt in the south at La Hueca, Timbara, and Porvenir, and a high copper porphyry system not far from Cascabel in the north. From a global point of view, there's also a very high-grade gold prospect called Blancanieves close to the Cascabel project, and we expect more throughout Ecuador. So just finally, creating a sustainable long-term mining industry in Ecuador is at the heart of all our operations, and we do a lot of work with the local communities. And just finally, in summary, We're building a copper company. We have a very significant project with Cascabel, and it's getting bigger. And we also have the concessions to replicate this discovery many times across Ecuador. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna.